What's going on, everybody? This is Intellect, and welcome back to the channel. Now today we've got one of college basketball's most electric players in Auburn's Sharife Cooper. Despite being small in stature, he's put up big numbers to start his college career after being held out under the NCAA's ridiculous investigations. As always, we'll start with what I like about his game, move into some questions I have, and then finish with some swing factors of what I'll be watching the rest of the way. Without further delay, let's get it started. Sharife Cooper is an elite playmaker. He's got a true gift in this area, and he'll put it on full display seconds into any given game. Whether it's in transition, out of the pick and roll, or on driving kicks, Cooper has an innate ability to create good offense. In my opinion, he is the best in the class in this area.
Hey, we were going to have this score. I would, first of all, told you.
One of the things I like about really good
talented freshman. I do think they've got to get better offensively.
One-handed passes with either hand, touch lobs, skip passes, wraparounds, pocket passes, you name it, he's got it. It really is remarkable how good he is in this area given his age. He frequently passes his teammates open, and you can tell he's played a lot of basketball in his life, and he's only getting better. This is where the biggest appeal for him as a prospect lies. Now, he's not as versatile because of his height, but I think he's considerably more dynamic than anyone else in the class. There are things that he can do that guys like Cunningham or Suggs just can't, and both of them are great passers in their own right. Cooper makes the spectacular look routine, and it's no mistake or fluke that he's averaging just over 8 assists a game.
He just kind of is calm. You can tell he's an older guy.
Johnson, a strong finish, give him 12. The head.
Looks like he's 28 years old playing.
He has been solid so far. See if Kentucky can capitalize on it. Clears. Here comes Cooper. On the break and
I have no problem with guarding anybody, but when it comes to Sharife, I know I might have some problems.
Sharife does have a good handle that allows him to get to his spots. He relies on his speed and quickness to blow past people. He's got great fast twitch and changes speed and direction with the best of them. He loves the between the legs. We'll go over more of the specifics of his handle in a later video.
Wow, that's a bit of work in progress. 5 on the shot clock for Cooper. There he goes, inside off left.
A couple of big ones from Wheeler. Here's Cooper, shows the ball.
I know Arkansas staff was worried about their team's confidence. There's nothing wrong with Desi Silva's offensive group of teams that in the SEC that I've seen in a long time. But Roy, I want to go back to that Alabama. I talked about impacting the game in different ways. The Hawks flexing their muscles on the offense.
While Sharife is clearly undersized, he's sneakily strong. He's the perfect example of someone who is functionally or basketball strong. He's got a great base and center of gravity, and he absorbs contact exceptionally well for someone his size. And it is a tremendous trait for him to have. I'd say he's actually better in this area than guys like Trae Young and Darius Garland were coming out. And they did a great job of keeping defenders at bay with their offhand and drawing fouls away from the basket. Another big part of Sharife's game is his ability to draw fouls. He's gotten to the line at an amazing rate so far during his young career. He attacks the rim with regularity and is often rewarded for it, getting there nearly 10 times a game and converting them at an 80% clip. Drawing fouls is absolutely a skill, and Sharife has a knack for contorting his body and selling contact at the rim. It's a big part of his scoring output. If he wasn't the athlete he is or half as savvy, things would be considerably tougher for both him and his team. Defensively, Sharife is always going to be at a disadvantage because of his lack of size and length, but there are few who match his lateral quickness and anticipation skills on this end. He does a really good job of keeping his man in front and beating him to the spot. This is going to take him a long way considering the disadvantage he is at physically. If he can continue to develop his body and add more weight, I think he can be a lot closer to guys like CP3, Dennis Schroeder, and Fred VanVleet than to a Trae Young.
Of humanity right there. Tigers lead it by 16, a 13-1 run in the last 3 minutes.
4 for the offensive rebound.
And he is going to be a really good player. Talking about 10 and 1.
Why is this open? There's going to be about 100 threes taken because these are pretty good looks. That is not. This driver.
Mitchell at the free throw.
And it's been quite a journey from Nebraska to Alaska to assistant coach Chuck Person.
Now that we've gone over the things I like about Sharife's game, we'll get into some of the questions that still exist there. Starting with his finishing. Finishing at the basket definitely hasn't been a strength of his this year. He's shooting just 24 for 49 around the basket per synergy stats and is glaring in the games. He has a tendency to force things at the rim, which we'll get into soon, but his lack of length and just general effectiveness is apparent.
I mean, he may have one in him tonight by the time it's all said and done. Attacking. Ball.
Their AAU coach was with the 2-point advantage. Cooper, break it down.
Cooper.
High off. Freshman from down the road in Powder Springs, Georgia. 7. Everything seems to be aligning right now for the Tigers at this point in the season. A lot of momentum.
Now his in-between game is a huge part of why his finishing numbers have been so low. There are so many moments that Sharife tries to finish at the rim among the trees where he could have taken a runner floater or a pull-up jumper. Outside of 3-point shooting, this is an area Sharife should be making an emphasis to improve. And this is also a bit more tangible in season than his shooting. I don't know if it has more to do with his confidence or if he's just too unselfish at times and doesn't look for those shots that have been there, but he's taken 8 floaters on the year and made 5 of them. It's a small sample size, but he is clearly capable of being effective in this area, and I'd bet a lot of money that he's worked on this type of stuff before.
More dangerous, even though he's averaging 22. It's a high volume set of shooting.
This is the area that keeps me from putting him in that top 10 right now. Now he very well could end up there just with time, but there is reason to be concerned about his current shot and that backwards lean and nonchalantness he has when he shoots. Pretty much all small guards in the NBA can shoot the ball. That's just what has to happen when you're that size. Otherwise, in almost every case, you end up on the bench. Even Rondo can shoot at this point. And especially when you're Sharife Cooper's size, getting the Ben Simmons treatment will be rough. The fact that the shooting has been subpar and I'm still very much high on Cooper is a testament to how talented he is in other areas and the potential that he has to improve.
Would win that game because I've seen them both and they're both great. But if you made me do
Mendoza and you know,
He just does right in a basketball game. 16:46 to go, and we've had 1 field goal made.
Sharife averages about 4 turnovers a game. Most of this has to do with the fact that he has the ball in his hands damn near every possession, and he's making a key decision on all of them. There aren't too many awful turnovers, a few could be avoided on some drives into traffic, or times he could have faked a pass to make it, but a lot of great passers with high usage rates are going to put up higher turnover numbers. You don't make the tough passes without some risk being involved. Now to a couple things I'm watching that will play a huge factor in determining how high he goes in the draft. Like I mentioned earlier, that in-between game is going to be key for him. I think teams might start throwing different looks at him soon. Some teams have started to trap him, others have continued to hard hedge, and others may throw some drop coverage at him knowing he's not been shooting that in-between, and they want to take that away, the roll, the corner skip, and make things really tough at the basket.
7 behind the arc. He did not shoot it well at Auburn as a freshman, but he has become
seems to be aligning right now for the Tigers at this point in the season. A lot of momentum.
And then obviously his shooting is going to be a huge swing factor. He doesn't at all lack the confidence, so I always assume that they're a better shooter than they've shown in that case, but until we see more production, that's going to be a major question. Sharife Cooper is probably the most entertaining player to watch in this class, on top of being one of the better point guards. If he shows more development in those areas that we talked about, I think he could climb into the top 10. Appreciate you guys for watching the video. Hopefully this provided a bit more context to where I've had him ranked in the past, and then maybe helped out those who haven't got to see more than just highlights so far. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and comment down below what you think of Sharife's game. I'm Keandre, this is Intellect, and I'm out.
TFM, I put in that work, man, yeah, I put in that work.